Do you ever find yourself feeling like something is missing in your life that you can't quite put your finger on? Maybe despite even having done lots of personal growth work or already being on the spiritual path for a long time. Well, as a psycho spiritual teacher and coach, there is one persistent karmic pattern that I see cropping up over and over again with my clients. And in this video, what I'm going to do is share a segment of a recent webinar that I hosted on karmic patterns and how to overcome them using really, really powerful non-dual tantric practices. So in this short segment that I share, I'm going to be sharing a story of a client of mine named Sarah and how she was able to free herself from the grip of the karmic pattern that I call insatiable desire. And it's one of the most common karmic patterns, so it's really likely that you have it at play in your life too. Now, before I cut over to that segment, be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I put out new videos just like this one, as well as guided meditations on a regular basis. So, all right, let's go ahead and dive on in. All right, so the first client story that I want to share with you is a client, Sarah, who came to work with me. When she came to work with me, she was really successful in her career. She had a loving family, but like we were talking about, she felt like something was missing. She lived in Palo Alto at the time. So you might guess that Palo Alto is a culture of high achievers, of the people of who's who, the go-getters. So she was constantly, and she had a husband who was also a very high achiever. So she was constantly comparing herself to others, people at work, but also people in her social circle. And the end result was that she really had this thing of like, I'm not good enough. And she spent a lot of her mental energy just reminiscing about the past when things were just easier. There wasn't so much pressure of living in the Bay Area. And then she would also fantasize about the future, like, when I can just get out of this whole rat race. She would talk about how she wanted to live on a ranch in Napa and just enjoy life. But the truth was that at the time, her and her husband were in their 40s and they had kids who were in private school in Palo Alto. So she had a ways to go before any of that was going to be a reality, right? So she was trying to fill this void, of this inner void that she felt. That's what sort of the word she used. I feel like I have this inner void that needs to be filled. And she would try to do it by she had a personal trainer that she worked with, so she could feel better about her body. She would plan luxury vacations with her family. She would work with coaches and therapists, and she did all these different things. But no matter what she was doing, she still felt like it wasn't enough, right? More importantly, she was just burdened by this constant feeling that she wasn't good enough. So this karmic pattern is what I call insatiable desire, but traditionally it's known as the hungry ghost realm. And it's characterized by this constant feeling of not enough or not good enough. And in this karmic pattern, we're always relating to what's missing in our life. And this can be, I want to say that this is true for all of the karmic patterns. It can be very subtle or it can be very strong. It can be in a range, right? So it might be that in this karmic pattern, you're preoccupied with what's been lost in the past. And often people like Sarah, she felt like a loss of freedom, the carefree life that she used to have with no burdens of money and family. But whatever you might, I lost something from the past, or like this idealized future. I'm always waiting for something in the future to happen. And the core motive of this karmic pattern is filling what feels like this inner void and preventing ourselves from feeling empty emotionally. So there's this insatiable desire to seek something more. It's like the statements are that the thoughts in our head would be, I need X in order to feel Y. If only I had X, then I would be happy. Then I would feel complete. Then I would be fulfilled. Or If only things were like that could go back to how they used to be, then I'd be happy. So this karmic pattern of insatiable desire is amplified when we compare ourselves to what others have, or to what they are doing, and feeling that what we have is not good enough, right? And not only that, we aren't good enough because we don't measure up to what society wants us to, or our own, what we don't measure up for ourselves, right? So the double bind of this karmic pattern is that we think we can get fulfilled by getting what we desire, only to find out in the long run that we're still unfulfilled, even though we got what we thought that we wanted, right? This is actually a pattern that is really, really prevalent in our society. And the way we see it is especially in media and commercials that are telling women that they need Botox in order to look younger and never get older, or men need to take ED pills in order to whatever be more attractive to women, and you need to get that Ford F-150 because that you need whatever. Watch any commercial, it's all the hungry ghost realm. You're not good enough. So you need to get this thing to be good enough, you need to get that thing to be good enough, and depending on your age and what station you listen to or watch, it's gonna somehow, they know your age range, right? When you're watching the news, they know to put the Botox commercials on for you. Or I guess if you're younger, they know for kids to put on the commercials for toys and whatnot. So, okay, yes, can all relate to that one. So go back to Sarah really quick and just let me give you some results of when we were working together. So she had previously worked with a manifestation coach who was having her up level her thoughts. And a lot of people come to me who have done a lot of work around law of attraction and manifestation and this type of thing. But in our work together, we didn't focus on changing her thoughts. Instead, I gave her one specific tantric practice, which really empowered her to see how her thoughts are tools, not truths. And through this practice, she discovered that her thoughts of not enough or not good enough were really just interpretations of reality, not reality itself. And because of this discovery for herself, which took a little bit of time, really, she was finally free. She found the freedom from this constant searching for the magic pill to fill that inner void. And this gave her the freedom to cultivate a sense of fulfillment and contentment, independent of doing more and accomplishing more. So she was really empowered to live life on her own terms.